Good evening. Welcome to the radio podcast. I'm gonna tell it. Yes, that's the name of it. I'm gonna tell it. My radio podcast is based off the truth, what the people really want to know, what the people really need to hear. So I need you to tune in because it's about to get nice. It's about to get real nice. Tonight's title of radio podcast, is going to be Prison Life. That's right, prison life. We all be affected, society within itself, or a mother or a father, a son or a daughter, going to prison and returning home. Prison life. What is it like after prison? What hardships are after prison? What programs or facilities are placed in place for returning citizens from prison? What helps? What don't help? And I thought better who to start with than Mr. Andrew Snyder, LLC, that is, Andrew Snyder. I'll give you the rest of the credentials on the gentleman after I allow you to listen to this little music for a second. But please tune in. Tonight's podcast is going to be very interesting. Again, tonight's podcast is called Prison Life. We're going to get them to tell it like it is, y'all. Okay, people. As I was saying earlier, tonight's podcast is about prison life. Prison life. We want to talk about what is in place for our sons, daughters. What is in place for our fathers and mothers. What is in place for our citizens of the United States. What is in place for us. What is in place for them when they return home from a long bit. Whether it's a day, a week, a month, or a year. What is provided for them by the society in which we live in. And I thought better as I was scrolling through podcast comrades today, and I bumped into a gentleman. His podcast show is called Prison Life. Mr. Andrew Snyder, LLC, is a licensed marriage and family therapist. He's an addiction counselor. He has 30 years experience in California correctionals. Their slogan is, they understand and appreciate the complex and difficult issues where prison and family life intersect. Their experience is unequaled in terms of experience, training, and abilities. Wow. Man. Mr. Andrew Snyder, I appreciate the effort that you're putting out there for us, man. I appreciate it because it sounded good. Now, I'm new at this podcast radio, but I'll tell you what, new is good. Change has always been good. And here in Muskegon, Michigan, we gonna tell it. The name of my podcast radio show is I'm Gonna Tell It. I'm gonna tell it for the people. We gonna ask for the people because it's the people who has individuals that are gone. So just put up with us for a minute. Listen to what we got to say. And I would like for Mr. Andrew Snyder to give me a call. I will hit your link and let you know that I'm interested in having a conversation with you on my podcast, whether it be over the phone, whether it be in person, or a place of your liking where we can meet. But I think we should get together. Because the title of your podcast show is Prison Life. So by it being Prison Life, I think that it's very effective that the people out here know a little bit more about what is in place for returning citizens from being incarcerated. How the families are affected by prisoners being locked up. How the families are affected by a father being separated from his family. how a family is being separated from the breadwinner in the house. What do we do? What facilities and what programs are in place for a family while a loved one is incarcerated? What rehabilitation does the family as a whole while their incarcerated loved one is gone? What is put in place for them to do to make it better for when their loved one comes home from being incarcerated? It's collective, man. It was good what I was listening to too, family, because Mr. Andrew Snyder, he was speaking and he had a guest on his show. And when he had a guest on his show, they brought up different topics concerning families, and letting us know what their credentials was, and I was sitting back and I was listening and it kind of, it shocked me a little bit, when I was sitting down listening to the ideas and the opportunities that they allow a person that has been incarcerated to have. But what I would like to say to Mr. Snyder is, I'm with you, man. I appreciate the support. I appreciate everything that you're doing for those ones who are locked up and trying to come home. But I would love the opportunity to sit down and have a Q&A with you. I would like to ask you some questions about some of the things that you talked about on your podcast show. I would like to ask one of your guests about some of the things she said on your podcast show, because, this ain't no pop shot, but it is the truth. PhD in school and college does give you credentials with being able to help out with those ones who need help. But each one teach one. We got credentials from the streets. We got credentials from being in those prisons. We have credentials out here in Muskegon, Michigan, and I'm going to tell it. That's right, radio podcast, I'm going to tell it. We've been there, we've done that, and we done changed our lives, and we trying to reach out. So we trying to connect with other people that's trying to do the same thing. So I believe that if you get in contact with me and we can sit down and have a show for the people with a little Q&A, I can place my input with a guest of mine, you can place your input with a guest of yours, and we can come to the bottom of it. Because as I was listening to one of your podcast shows, one of your guests said, if a part of the machine is broke, the whole thing don't move. And they translated that like this: if part of the system is messed up, the whole system is messed up. That's right. We in the United States of America. So that means that if one prison is messed up, they all messed up. It's a system that needs to be dealt with collectively. So I would like to get with you as soon as I can. Like I said, I'm going to get in contact with you through your websites and everything, but I just wanted to put people up on who you are, and I wanted to out loud say, hey, this is my new radio broadcast, and I'm for the right things for Muskegon, Michigan. We're about to get to the bottom of a whole lot of subjects and topics that people don't want to talk about, people don't want to face. I will be giving your organization a call to see how that goes for me, but publicly and loudly, I am saying right now, Mr. Snyder, hey, let's tell it, man. Let's tell it together. Let's tell these families out here what's really going on and who's really getting helped out with the situations that's going on. So I ask that you get in contact with me as soon as you can, and I sure appreciate your time. And Muskegon, y'all keep listening, man. Y'all keep listening to me, because you know what? I'm going to tell it. That's the name of this podcast radio show. I'm going to tell it. We're going to put it on the floor the way it need to be put on the floor. We're going to ask the questions that don't nobody want to ask. That's exactly what we're going to do. So y'all bear with me, and y'all have a good night. Reminding everybody out there, be patient, man. Be patient. Your father or your mother or your son or your daughter, they gonna get it together. They understand we out here trying to help. Just be patient. We gonna figure it out. We gonna figure it out together. You know what I'm saying? Because if the wheel broke, the machine don't run. And the wheel is broke. Family, the wheel is broke. The wheel is broke. We got to fix this. All the subjects and topics people trying to dodge and hide from, man. Come to my radio broadcast. Give me a call. Email me. Ask me the questions. Ask me to ask the questions that you don't want to ask. And I'm going to ask them because, and I'm going to tell it, we're going to keep it real. We're going to keep it real. We're going to keep it real. We're changing our lives out here, man. That's what we're doing. We got to reach back. We got to reach back, family. So with that being said, y'all have a blessed night, man, and y'all be good. Y'all be good, man.